Hi Ines, Jill's here, and here comes the video with the review of your sales page. Before we dive in, I would like to mention one thing, namely whatever you're going to hear right now, it's only about the page itself. It has nothing to do with you as a professional. I'm sure you're a great teacher, and just the fact that you have to put this together without having any prior knowledge about copy or design, that's already a big challenge for you. So it doesn't mean that I will find thousands of things. I just always say that to let the website owners know that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to have pages that are not perfect, and that whatever I'm gonna say right now, please don't take it personally. And if you hear some feedback that you think, no, it won't hold for your page because you know your target audience better, just mention it in the comment and I will provide a different recommendation. With that being said, your page is already better than many pages I've seen. And I don't know how it was before, so I can't compare, but I can imagine that it is already a big progress. Nevertheless, we all knew there will be a nevertheless. There are a couple of things that I will suggest improving. Okay, let's dive straight in. A minor issue, but very often I see that the social icons here on the top, your prospects, your website visitors just landed on your page. So you need to make sure they stay there as long as possible. And by having social icons displayed so prominently, you are tempting them to dive into the world of baby pictures and recipes and whatever. So social icons need to be always placed at the bottom of your page. Unless you do your selling through social media, that's a different story. Then you need to highlight it big, but I don't think it's the case in your case. So the icons go in the footer. But okay, this is a minor problem. The bigger problem I see here is your two first lines on the page. The prospects land on your page and they do not understand what that is. Journey to Spain. Are you looking for people who would like to travel to Spain? Creating a creative writing program. This is slightly more specific, but not specific enough. Okay, creating writing program, you say what, but how do your prospects know it's for them? Unless they, of course, lie in bed sleepless and thinking, I need a creative writing program. What they need is probably to improve their Spanish, and you give very good, you have very good sentences that are more suitable for the headline, that these two sentences that are very vague and can even be misleading, because as far as I understand, nobody is going on a journey to Spain. This is all, you are saying, okay, you will take them on a journey, virtual journey to Spain, which has nothing to do with traveling. But this is not clear from the headline. So your headline should be rather something along the lines with, where did I see this one? A 4-week immersion into Spanish culture that will help you. Yeah, something like a 4-week immersion course. I mean, I can't tell you because writing, saying what or deciding what final copy should be, it's a complicated process. To find the best 2 lines that will represent your course and distill the meaning of your course and the main benefit in 2 lines. It's a complicated process. I can't just yeah, okay, this is how you should do it. This won't work like that. These 2 lines are probably the most important, because they decide whether the prospects will jump off the page or will stay on your page. So I suggest thinking about it a bit more. And there is actually a foolproof formula. I just sent a newsletter with that. First line should be what it is. So let's say 4 weeks course, immerse program, whatever. And then second line should follow the formula: get this benefit by doing this. Yeah, for example, improve your Spanish by this. I don't know. So follow this formula. I will put it in the comment, so you have this formula. Okay, we move on the page, and then it kind of gets more specific, but still it's not tied to the benefit. Your prospects would like to improve their Spanish, as far as I understand. Yeah, they would like to improve their Spanish, but do it effectively, because probably they took courses that they didn't finish, or they feel lazy, or whatever. So it's still on the page. It still didn't say improve your Spanish, or whether it's writing or conversational or whatever. It's still some abstract terms. Take a virtual trip to Spain. Why should I? Why? So the question would be, so what? Okay, remember these three gnomes that you're supposed to talk to or listen to what they're saying. So take a virtual trip to Spain. So what? Or in the sense of what does that even mean? Write a travel journal. Why? Rediscover your Spanish. Do I really want to rediscover my Spanish? That's a different thing. You know, rediscover your Spanish, it sounds like a benefit, but is it really? Does a prospect lie in bed, sleepless, thinking, I want to rediscover my Spanish? So you really need to be clear about what benefits you think your prospects seek from a course like that, and put them somewhere here. Definitely, the sooner the better, so that they can relate to that. Do you need a little push to get back on track with your Spanish? It could be a good question if this fits the content of your course. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to dive into every line, so I can't judge. But if you think this is something your prospects need, it's a good idea to put a question in the headline. A couple of things that I didn't talk about in my presentations that I will point out now, because I mean there is a lot to talk about, so I talk about most important things. The lines on your website, or this page in particular, are too long, in the sense of it's like from this to this side. I can't read it without moving my head, or without putting stress on my eyeballs too much, that they go too much on the right. So the lines on the page should never be that long. The rule of thumb is that your line should take the 50% of the page. It doesn't mean that it should go from the very left to the middle. It just means that if you calculate the combined white space and combined text, you would see that the text occupies not more than 50% of the page. You can achieve this by having equal margins here. In your case, you will just have to make the margins here larger, so the white space is larger. So maybe it starts like here and then here, no? Or maybe even here and here. Then the prospects will be able to read easily and to move forward the text easier. The other way to do it is to make the right margin larger. So this will remain the same, and this will go as if you're having an invisible sidebar here, like an empty sidebar or something. But the lines definitely need to be made smaller. Another thing I noticed, you use the one-line paragraphs way too much. One say, okay, one-line paragraphs, they're good for scanning, but imagine everything will be written in one-line paragraphs. What will we end up with? Again, visual monotony. One-line paragraphs are good to have if they break visual monotony. Imagine you had longer paragraphs, you had 3-line, 4-line paragraphs, and suddenly one-line paragraph comes. It definitely catches attention, but nothing catches attention in 5 one-line paragraphs. So you need to kind of regroup your text to see that whenever you write a one-liner, it indeed catches attention, and not is getting buried within the 5 one-liners. I actually like this copy a lot. The one you put here, it's very engaging. You empathizing with your prospects. The only worry I have here is that it's a bit too wordy. The thing is that you will, it's a bit too wordy. I would shorten it. I will make it just visually speaking. I'm sure you can also congest it somehow, half of it. Okay, so the people move faster to the benefits. Okay, they understand that you understand them already here somewhere. Okay, after 3 sentences, you don't need 7 sentences or 7 paragraphs in your case. So I don't know. So I would move to the benefits faster. Good benefits, but the only thing I would say is that you should put the most important benefit first. Trade trust for inspiration in your Spanish learning journey is not the main benefit. It's not the main thing they are looking for. Learn to express yourself in Spanish, find words and get them flowing. Yes, that's a great benefit. This needs to go first. Gain confidence in your writing and conversation. This needs to go second. The self-doubt going third. This fourth, so actually the first line should actually go, this first line should actually go at the end, maybe even not mentioned at all, because I don't think they think, oh, I would like to trade stress for inspiration and have a Spanish learning journey. That's not the words they're thinking about their problems in, unlike the other benefits. So I would completely remove the sentence. All this with the help of tour guide that will take you, keep inspired. Okay, you can leave this. Sorry, I forgot to mention, this is a problem you have everywhere on your website. You see the distance between the individual lines on the paragraphs. It's the same distance as between the paragraphs you would see here especially. So this becomes difficult to understand. Is the sentence continuing, or is it a new paragraph? So to make your text scannable, the logically related things need to be close, visually close. So this would be like logically related thing, and they need to be closer than two separate paragraphs. This is really important. I hope you'll be able to find a way to change this. The proper, let's see, I mean, if your theme is customizable. If your theme is not customizable and you don't know how to change that, just leave me a comment. I will send you a line of code that you will have to copy paste. I will tell you where, and it will fix this problem. Okay, then you have the what will you get out of this program. It's a great headline. The only thing I would suggest is making the font larger, because it's almost the same as the basic font, and make the space here less. I talked about it in my design presentation, that the spaces need to be uniform. But okay, this would be your last concern. I would say if you don't know how to do it, okay, don't bother. Okay, it's not that bad. It's just me, you know, who always likes everything being perfect, let's put it like that. So if you can't do that, don't do it, leave it. But you know, you see, like this space is even larger than this space. Yeah. And you know, again, you are using different headings, heading styles, heading fonts for headings. Font size for the headings. Okay, what will you get out of the problem? My problem with this section is that this repeats this. You know, this is actually the summary of what you're saying here. So how about just switching, like copy pasting the text from this section here, because it has a nice visual, you know, it stands out nicely visually, and just don't give them the summary. I don't know. I mean, you need to think about this. The thing I had problem with, that it was repetition. Some of the things were repetitive. There's confidence in your ability. Yeah, I'm just looking and thinking about it. Although this is such a good summary. So one needs to think about it. Maybe remove the repetitive things, or maybe make it less repetitive. Another thing, visually speaking, I'm a bit disturbed by, is that your sections, they have a strange starting point. They start differently. Look how this section starts here, and this section starts here, you know, and then again here. Yeah, but okay, this is just me nitpicking again. Nitpicking. What level of Spanish do you need to be able to participate? I will put it earlier, because remember the deal breakers. This would be a deal breaker. Because if a beginner comes and they don't know Spanish, they can save themselves reading all of that. So this is a more important deal breaker than anything that comes after the headline of the course. So this needs to go on top. Testimonials. Testimonials are important. This is a good testimonial. Unfortunately, the presentation is not ideal. First of all, when you center the lines like this, when you center more than 2 lines, it becomes really hard to read, because the eye does not know where the line starts. I can't just say like I had here, then I can rely that the line will always start on the left, you know, and I don't need to think about it. But here, every time I need to find the beginning of the line. Sometimes it starts really late. So this really makes scanning, skimming, fast reading, or just normal reading harder. Another thing, and it's my favorite pet peeve, and I told Helena this as well, she used to have it on her page, and she was like, what? I can't do that. You cannot sprinkle bold highlights inside the paragraphs the way you feel like. It's not like, oh, you would like them to concentrate on this word, let's put a highlight there. Oh, I would like them to concentrate on this word a sentence later, let's put highlight there. Because what will happen is they won't be able to peacefully read your text. They will feel compelled, because this is how we work. We see something stand out, we feel compelled to jump to it. They will be reading only bold highlights. And in your case, they will read, an amazingly inspiring course inspired me to learn, become aware, I loved using my imagination. Is this the message you would like them to take from your testimonial? I don't think so. So, especially in such a small text, especially highlighting all the sentences, all the sentences in bold. I mean, what's the point? And if you look at this, like, I think 40% of the words would be bold. And if you highlight everything, you highlight nothing. You know, at some point, some people highlight so much that the words that are not highlighted stand out. Okay, with you it's not the case, but it's still unfortunately not ideal. So remember, highlights are speed bumps, and right now this particular piece of the road is very bumpy. Moving on, but I mean, I like that you have a photo and the name and yeah, and everything else. A program designed to help you improve your writing, speak with confidence, and discover more about Spanish culture. That's such a good sentence. Why is it so late on the page? You know, you need to pull it up because it's concrete. You may even make it your subtagline. A 4 weeks program designed to help you improve your writing, speak with confidence, and discover more about Spanish culture. What a great subtagline, okay? What's inside? It's good, but again, make the heading bolder and something weird. Now it becomes more disturbing. Now it becomes more unbalanced. Something weird is happening with the spaces. You see, it's like so much white space. You don't need this. So imagine we just take this up to the page. Then this section will have a header, what's inside, less space. I couldn't, because the page is too long, I hope it's okay. I did not look into every word on your page, but I looked into some, and I would recommend showing it to an English native speaker. I don't know if you're an English native speaker, maybe you are, but just to have somebody proofread it. Each week you'll get videos and readings. I don't think one can say readings, because you can have a reading of a book when an author comes to the library to read a book. I would rather say reading materials. Get the videos and reading materials to help immerse you into, why help immerse? Just to immerse you into Spain culture and ignite your imagination. These are authentic materials intended for native Spanish speakers, not students. When you say for something, not something, for X, not Z, it means that X and Z can never coincide. But the thing is that native Spanish speakers and students are not antonyms. No, you can't say for black, not white, or for green, not red, or for, I don't know, for beginners, not intermediate students. You know, these will never intersect when you put them in a diagram. But native Spanish speakers can be also students. Probably what you mean for native Spanish speakers, not native speakers. But you can just omit the not students, because you already say that it was designed for native Spanish speakers and not for anybody else. So you don't need to say not students. These are called like this logical fallacies, when your sentence sounds normal, but when one starts to think about it, okay, something logically does not fit. You'll also get invaluable information tips on how to do optional further research. Why not just say research? Optional further research. They know, I mean, is it really important to say optional further? So another thing I noticed, there would be one more thing, I will just comment on the copy and then I will just have to leave it. There was something else that wasn't right. I forgot. Maybe further. Exercise the vocabulary. Okay, I'm also not a native English speaker, so maybe I also, am wrong on this. But I don't think you can say exercise the vocabulary. You say practice the vocabulary, but not exercise. I'm not sure. You need to double check that. But it stood out to me because it didn't sound naturally. Another thing, I didn't, but I like how you designed the sections. The sections designed really nicely. And do you see how the lines became shorter? Now it's like more comfortable to read. The moment you have some picture, it's also good. It like makes the lines shorter, and it becomes more scannable and more pleasant to look at as well. So these sections are really cool. Good. Easy to read. Moving forward, what will we focus on each week? I find this column a bit congested. It's hard to read when 4 columns are so narrow together. I would make them not 4 columns, but 2 columns, 2 blocks each, and give them more white space in between. This way your paragraphs will become shorter. Here again, please do not highlight anything in bold. These are just a couple of lines. People are able to read in peace. You already said what the topic will be: history and cinema, art, music, food. This is like all readable. But the other thing is, the copy here is not customer focused. You say will, I'll, why not just say discover Spanish history hidden in famous TV show, explore the connection between history and cinema, saying that this person, whoever is reading, will be doing that. You're addressing them, and they're already imagining themselves doing it. The moment you say I will take you on a tour, embark on a tour to taste, it's like, remember this very long copy example I was improving, the benefits, when the benefits I started with an active verb that addressed the prospect. So this is what you would need to do here as well. Who will be your teacher? Very important. I would again suggest not censoring the text. making more less paragraphs, because it's just like one-liners that I had to process. I would put 3 first line in one paragraph and 2 last line in the last paragraph. How much does it cost? Your investment. Okay, this, I mean, it's good info, but it could have been presented a bit more appealing. And I would combine. I won't separate this button from the cost you're telling them to do. So I will make this, how much does it cost, one section. Addition runs to June, registration is open, okay. But once again, I will, then time left till what? Time left, you should rather say registration closes in, so they know, okay, because time left, it's again out of context because it's separated from how much does it cost, and they are like, time left to what, and the button after the timer. So this needs some rearrangement to make it more enticing and more compact, so they don't look, they lose the context. Another thing, sorry, it will be a long review, I'll review. Ready to take this journey together. Very rarely people are ready for something, so I would say rather want to get this benefit in 4 weeks, because ready to take this journey together, I already forgot what journey we were talking about, and the fact is I may have forgotten what benefit it will bring me, so it needs to be more benefit focused. Like the button though, not sure this is for you, here's a checklist to guide you. This is a very good idea. Another thing I would suggest is, I think for all bullet points, that the bullet points need to start a bit on the right side from the main text, so you need to have some space. It just improves scannability, because bullet points supposed to stand out, and it just looks nicer. But okay, that's not important. It's just, once again, me nitpicking. I'm just scanning through the lines. Yeah, it's very good. I mean, this you definitely should leave. Okay, frequently asked questions. I trust you that you did it right, because it's just like providing them the information. This I will put, this is an important thing, this I will put close to the payment sections. Like, for example, you would have a payment section here, let's say it would be gray, and under the button, you don't need anymore to say one-time payment, because we said we will be combining, or I suggest we will be combining, and this is already says, you can say here one-time payment of, and underneath you will put the line about how the payments are made, because this is relevant. Frequently asked questions, I mean, you can't just put any question there. If you have a question that is closely related to something you are saying on the page, this information needs to be there. Yeah. Okay. Again, this ready to take the journey together, this needs to be rephrased. I would just repeat the same block that you will come up for the main section, CTA call to action section. Just repeat it, so I won't comment on that. And you have testimonial. The thing is, I don't know if your course is new, probably it's new now, you don't have more testimonials, but ideally you need to have a different testimonial. Want to read some of certain, I won't do that, because I will go see what that is, but I don't think this is relevant. Don't make them jump off the page, into some rabbit hole. Hall of Fame, student story. I can't say it's in Spanish. So, but why? My question would be, why do you want them to read the stories? What's the purpose? I don't know. I mean, if there is a particular thing that you would like to learn them to learn from jumping off the page, just summarize that thing you want them to learn and put them as plain text on this page to prevent them from jumping off. Ask me a question. Yeah, okay, that is fine. Yeah, I won't be nitpicking. It just needs to be shorter, everything, because it's like way too wide, but okay, forget it. I accept the site's privacy policy. yeah, I mean, usually they say, okay, if they have some tick box to tick, they will be like, no, I don't want to send this message. So this is like, again, the friction, that you will get fewer people messaging you than if you didn't have this checkbox. So if you don't have like, legally speaking, check this checkbox, then have this checkbox that don't include it. Also, I would put the submit button on the left, because this is how people write, you know, they finish here somewhere. I typed my message, I finish here, and then, oh my god, where is the button? Oh, it's on the right side. So again, friction. Yeah, I would put it on the left. Yeah, okay, this is like the footer. Okay, so this would be it. I hope you're not feeling overwhelmed now, but I'm afraid you do. So I would suggest, okay, you saw it, you probably thought to yourself, oh my god, I worked on this all day and now I need again to change 1000 things. Take a break. Okay, take a break, couple of days, maybe come back to it when you feel more inspired than overwhelmed, because I can imagine that's overwhelming. But you asked for feedback, and I'm afraid it's your own fault. So yeah, this would be my feedback. This is all I have to say about this page. If you have any more questions, just leave me a comment.